Now we are back. Let's dive into more on the basketball season. We have a series of topics here to discuss. Brandon, we know Antoine Wilson is the top player in the Bayside Conference, so let's take him out of this equation. Who you're taking as number 2?
All right, so there's a number of players we can go with right here, right? We're trying to get more players involved in the conversation. Obviously, KJ Smothers from Queen Anne's, we saw what he could do earlier this week. Undersized, very athletic, can shoot the basketball. Aaron Robinson from Kent Island, tall, good shooter, Bayside North Player of the Year last year. He's injured this year, unfortunately. Bryson Coleman, he's a matchup nightmare for so many people in the Bayside. But you know what? I'm going to cheat on this one because I'm going to talk about a player that's not even in the Bayside Conference. I got to talk about Tyler Ball from the Salisbury School.
He definitely deserves recognition.
He deserves so much recognition because he is electric. He can shoot the basketball, a great leader, plays tremendous defense, fills up the stat sheet every single night, dropped 41 just last week to break the school record for a single game. He deserves a lot of recognition, and he's a 24 too. He's a junior.
He's a monster. Now, obviously, next up, we have that solid top 4 in the Henlopen.
Seaford, Laurel, Dover, Polytech, but Devin, who do you think's going to make noise in the postseason outside of that group?
So, we actually saw their highlights today. It's Cape Henlopen. That's my choice. Now, they did lose to Polytech earlier this week, but they've had a good stretch of games, winning 6 out of their last 8 games. Dover and Polytech obviously beat them both of them beat them by double digits. But everyone else from Delaware that they played, they've beaten. So Cape's wins have gone against bad teams. So the only team they beat with a winning record was to start the year was Central, who is now 6-3, who's also resurging. But the rest of the wins have come against some of the worst teams in the conference. Now, why is that important that I mentioned? Well, they're beating on bad teams. 4 of their final 10 games are against teams under 500. And if Cape can split those other 6 games, which is Polytech, Central, who they already beat, Dover, Apple, Middletown, Lake Forest, they could go up 13-6 to end the year and go up against a bad team in the first round of the DIAA and win a playoff game.
We'll see, but if you're Cape, you got to go out there and beat some of those teams that maybe you shouldn't beat in order to show us that you can make noise.
Absolutely. Now, back here in the Bayside, Y-High's head coach Butch Waller is closing in on win number 900.
Unbelievable.
Do you think he's going to reach that win total this season?
Yeah, I'm done doubting Y-High, first of all, folks. I ranked them 4th overall to start the season. That was a bad choice. Butch, right at 890 at the moment, 10 wins away. They have 9 more games, and then the Bayside Championship, which makes 10. They win all 10, they get to 900. You know what? If they run the table, they get there. I think at this point, if there are odds on this, I'd say they are very good odds to reach that milestone this year, maybe even before the playoffs get started. At this point, after this week, with Y-High defeating Decatur, Bennett, Queen Anne's, all in the same week?
All in the same week.
That was so impressive to watch. I'm not sure they suffer another loss this entire season before the playoffs get underway. Who else can take them down except for maybe Bennett during their final game of the season at the Waller Dome?
Right, yeah, and again, if they were going to lose a game earlier, it probably would have already happened in that stretch, playing 5 games in a whole week, but they came out unscathed. Now, obviously, there's other players that we talk about, but you know, for me, Brandon, the player that I think that needs more respect in the airtime in the Henlopen, we got a couple guys, but Denham Perkins and definitely Dontarius Jones, Kyle Gamber, Kareem Bolden, all players I think that deserve screen time. But the 2 I sent out, I just mentioned Denham Perkins from Dover, Corey Mumford for Laurel. Perkins makes manship for the Senators. He's a sweet shooting, steady hand at the point guard position, and Mumford is the guy that I think that can take Laurel to that next level, to the top of the conference, and maybe to the state championship. He's one of the most athletic guys that I've seen in the Henlopen, and if he hits the offensive glass hard and lives at the rim, he could average a double-double, 20 points, 10 boards a game, maybe 15, 10, something like that, points and rebounds. He can do it.
Yeah, my guy Kyle Gamber that I've been talking about a lot on this show, he was my guy flying under the radar this year. Love his shot, love his IQ on the court.
He plays the right way.
He sure does, but I feel like everyone's really catching on now. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bait and switch and say Clarence McBride Allen. I really like the way that he plays in the post for Sussex Central. He's going to be a big player for them this year.
Yeah, we got to make sure we get everyone else that, instead of just the same guys that we always talk about, that we got a lot of other people that need some airtime.
Got to spread the love.
Absolutely. Now stay right there. When we come back, we'll have a full look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rich Wardzik, plus one local school set to receive a new garden. Details when we come back.
My name is Tyler Reddick, and I'm here from Snow Hill Basketball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.